Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're live now to share how you can enhance your development productivity with Devart dbForge tools for SQL Server. So let's get started. We are here today with Yuri Hirobrik, head of the Devart partnership team, to share his insight into the dbForge Studio and how you can benefit from these tools to achieve high efficiency, save time, and eliminate manual work, and hence to enhance your development productivity. So I'll now pass the time to Yuri. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Everyone, it's my pleasure to be here today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Lisa, for the great introduction. So let's get started. Okay. So today I'm going to introduce you how we can enhance your development activity with Devart dbForge tools for SQL Server. So before we start, let's make a quick introduction about who we are. Devart is one of the leading developers in innovative database software embraced by 40,000 companies, and I'm proud to announce that we have over 500,000 professionals worldwide using our tools and connectors in more than 140 countries. Our main goal is to make it to remove the tiresome routine of daily work of our customers, make it more easier with our solutions, and provide an exceptional quality of our support and advice. So the company was founded in 1997. We are on the market for more than 25 years. And we are highly focused on the database management tools and connectivity solutions. So the focus will create and constantly evolve database tools, ALM solutions, data providers, data integration. We also have a backup solutions as well as web and cloud services. And currently, right now, we have over 200 experts worldwide, mostly senior level. And we have several offices with the headquarters in Czech Republic, and we have offices in Slovakia, Hong Kong, and Ukraine. Speaking about product lines and our portfolio, we have two product lines. First one, that's the database tools. It is called dbForge. That's the main product line for today, and especially the studio for SQL Server. What is dbForge? So basically, the Flagman Devil's products line was focused on during today's webinar. So it's a set of tools for all database development and management tasks on major database management systems. Also, at the same line, we have data connectivity product lines. So that includes libraries and components for direct access to databases, data fetching, and data manipulation on major on-premises and cloud providers. So if you're interested in such type of solution, we can discuss it later on and provide you a separate session regarding the data connectivity. And so today we are going to focus on dbForge and especially on the SQL Server. Again, quick introduction about the dbForge product line and quick overview. What is dbForge? dbForge products help database specialists to significantly increase their efficiency, save their time, and get rid of the manual routine. We have 4 studios for each of the database systems supported by Devart. That's the SQL Server, MySQL / MariaDB, Oracle, and PostgreSQL. All of them can be combined in a one single product called dbForge Edge. But keep in mind that Studio, that's independent development integration environment, that's IDE, and each studio can be used as a separate product. That's our own studio developed by Forge Edge. That's the bundle of all 4 studios combined together. So if you're interested in getting all 4 studios, you will get a dedicated special discount for the dbForge Edge to save your money and get all 4 studios in one license. So if you're an enterprise company, you have lots of database developers, and it's much easier for you to buy one license dbForge Edge. And also, please be attentive during this webinar because lots of questions will be in the poll that we created for you for the incentive of today's webinar. And also the dbForge tools. dbForge tools are specialized tools that resolve specific tasks. They were created, for example, Microsoft SQL Management Studio, SSMS. So if you prefer to use a studio created by Microsoft, we have the bunch of tools to enhance and accelerate all your processes working with SSMS. But we strongly recommend, of course, to use our dbForge Studio for SQL Server. And that's it. So, moving, let's go through the tools of SQL servers and details. dbForge Studio for SQL Server, that's all-in-one integrated environment for solving complex database development, maintenance, administration tasks. So basically, it context-sensitive auto-completion, supporting to write code faster, intelligent database designer, quick database compare, and other valuable features allow you to significantly improve the overall productivity and, of course, of your developers. So why dbForge Studio for SQL Server is a good choice for you? Let's start from the fast coding. That's the most important. Time is valuable. That's the most important thing because time never comes back. So with faster coding, you can write cleaner code with context-aware code completion and rich collection code snippet. It's the data migration that you can transfer the data between different servers. Also, continuous integration, embrace database DevOps automation approach, and take conventional database development, testing, and deployment to a whole new level. Quick database diffs so that compare SQL database schemas and data, analyze the difference between, and safely deploy the changes to your production environment. And intelligent database design. Use an advanced diagram tool to visualize the database structure and create any relationships between table in a few clicks. And instant code formatter. So beautiful the SQL tool routine code to make more readable and implement SQL coding standards within a team or the entire organization that you can create your own format of coding. And let's go to the tools. Tools is a development tool pack that provides essential features for any Microsoft SQL Server and Azure SQL developer. It is designed not only to increase your productivity, but also to reduce expenses while performing routine tasks and automate database development and deployment with dbForge DevOps automation. So the tools includes 15 SSMS tools. Note that each of the tools can be purchased separately to execute particular tasks, like the SQL Complete, for example. So some of the features, some of the tools can be purchased as a separate product, or you can get a bundle of all tools combined together. So SQL Complete allows you to code faster with SQL auto-completion, code formatting, and refactoring. Query Builder, create and manage SQL queries visually. So quick search for SQL objects and table data, Documenter, or generate documentation for SQL Server quickly and easily. Descriptor will allow you to describe the SQL Server database, data compare, and data synchronization for SQL Server data. Schema compare to compare schemas. Source control to link your SQL database to the version control like Git, for example, and the data pump to accelerate data migration between databases. So moving next to get more details about SQL Complete, that's a separate tool, one of the SSMS tools, but we highlight the solution separately as one of our best selling products nowadays. So dbForge SQL Complete is available as an add-in for SSMS and Visual Studio. This tool allows to develop pure and error-free code with IntelliSense style code completion. Its advanced T-SQL debugger functionality allows you to catch and fix errors before get into production. And this and more functionalities make dbForge complete as a coding guru, will significantly improve all your daily routines and coding, and you do everything much faster with SQL. And also we have some information about the new release, T-SQL Analyzer. It will be T-SQL Complete or included, and Studio for SQL Server and dbForge Edge. So what it does, it's a comprehensive code analyzes. T-SQL Analyzer offers in-depth analysis for T-SQL code, identifying potential performance bottlenecks, syntax error, and inherent coding standards, and many more. So stay tuned, and we will provide you all the information so you can sign up for all the news from Devart, and especially for the SQL Server dbForge. Or besides that, we also can support like the SQL Complete only for Visual Studio Code 2022, where you can do other things already combined with new 2022 Visual Studio. So let's talk about right now about our competitive advantages. So why should you choose dbForge products? Two range of solutions represented the market providing similar functionality. So we deliver high quality product for the cost-effective price. That's one of the most important things that you can see with Devart, because the prices nowadays are getting higher, and sometimes you can compare them with the hardware itself. So we deliver like very high quality products, but at the same time, the cost price that makes our product useful for any type of organization. So our tools for SQL Server database development and management propose an excellent, continuously improved functionality at affordable price, comparing to our main competitors. So I will present prices and the sales models later on after the demo, so you can prepare your questions. And if you have already, you can type them in chat, and I will be glad to answer them by the end of this webinar. Okay, moving about like competitive advantages. So starting from, for example, the user-friendly graphic user interface, GUI. So a clean and intuitive interface with exceptional flexibility of customization makes all tasks simpler by switching them to the visual mode. So you can use everything in one. That's the single pane of glass for all your database management tasks. You can use like the query builder to enhance everything that you do right now. This tool allows constructing queries for any complexity visually, and any element can be designed and explored thoroughly in the visual editor. So you can go there, you can edit many things, you can see the difference, you commit them, and do the same with any type of. So a query profiler user can detect slow queries, analyze their performance, define the bottlenecks, and reveal the causes. Then the tool offers the possibility to optimize such queries. Coding Assistant, the powerful coding assistant module, includes suggestions, auto-completion, syntax validation, code snippet, debugging, formatting, and many more. Also, user and session management. Dedicated modules allow database administrators to monitor server performance, access all essential metrics in real time, so you can see like how your service perform and how much resources it consumes and what do you need in the future, so you can migrate to another server if it doesn't have enough resources or to scale out things. Also, data schema comparison, as we have already discussed, so you can compare any type of data. You can databases, you can compare schemas, or you can do backup, you can do restore of your databases, you can generate the data to pump up a bunch of data to test your service and production and work and manipulate the data to see how it works for your sandbox environment. You can also use data export and import to grab the data, put it somewhere else, and you can analyze and reporting. We have like dbForge tools that provide comprehensive data and analysis, such as like pivot tables and generation customization reports for developers. And let's get to the use case. So let's look closer at the case when and how dbForge Studio can support your business needs. So let's take SQL development as an example. So let's start from the business event, in which cases you may need dbForge Studio, new project, for example, initiation or application updates, creating and modifying database structures to support data requirements. A performance optimization, when you need to identify and address performance bottlenecks, flow queries response, data security enhancements, so implementing changes in database structure and access control to enhance data security. Also, data growth management, scaling and optimizing databases to accommodate the growing volume of data generated by business. And also the regular compliance. So adapting database structures and processes to comply with changing industry regulations and standards. Speaking about persona, who is the customer profile, who is the user of it, that's usually and mainly a software developer, database developer, architect, manager, database analyst, business analyst, and so on. So that's three types of main personas who will be using the dbForge Studio for SQL. In terms of like functionality, we have already provided many information about this. And as you can see, we can start from like query creation, schema management, execution of queries, data manipulation, data analysis, debugging, troubleshooting, and of course the version control. You have to know what you're pushing up. All right, then. I guess you have questions, so feel free to write them in the chat, and I will end by the end of the presentation. Okay, it's time for a demo right now. I will switch my screen and would need your help in this case. So I will start sharing my dbForge Studio for SQL Server right now. So let's start from your project. That's the graphic interface of dbForge Studio. All you need to do is just go to the website. You can load it from the website. You can select the version, the product installation, and the operating system. Once it is installed, you can basically launch it very easily and then start using our Studio. It has different type of versions, but of course in the trial download, we have enterprise version with all the functionality included. So feel free to use it at any time. You have 30 days to test it back and forth and get back to Lisa with your request. And of course, if you require a dedicated separate session for your specific needs, so we are always open to demonstrate you our product, and let us know the use case and we'll prepare a special demo for your business needs. And we can show you how the dbForge Studio for SQL Server can address and be implemented into your internal processes. But what do you see right now? So from the left side, that's the navigation page. Here, the starting page, you can see it shows all the functionality that dbForge Studio from Devart has. Well, what it can do? Well, on the starting page, you can see that it can do SQL editor, query profiler, query builder. It can debug all the storage procedures, execute scripts, link database to the source control unit, as database design, your versions, your documentation, database synchronization, where you can create new schema comparison, data comparison. You can create the schema snapshot, or you can create some scripts that you can run. And also, of course, you can copy database. As for administration, you can generate scripts, you can back up and restore anything that you need to databases and many more. For the data pump, of course, you can export and import any data that you want. You can do the data comparison, you can do the data analysis, and DevOps automation with PowerShell, in CD, Azure DevOps, Bamboo, Jenkins, and DevOps automation. Both we currently have implemented. Okay, starting from the backup. So that's the simplest and easiest way to save your information. So you can click the backup, you can select the option. It could be full or differential if it's needed. Then you can select the database which you want backup. And you can change the other settings, verify, and then use other options. You can also data if it is necessary and click back. So you can name it, of course, then you can back the database and okay, we've done it. And after that, you can restore. So if you need to restore it, you need to select project. I will tell you the project later on. So what we need to select the database back, what we currently have. You can select some specific files if it is needed. So you can select from the entire back and where do you want, but I will select our database and we need to name it as demo. And then we go next to files to check where files are located. You can relocate if it is needed. And you can, like, there are options to override, preserve, and the recovery state. And you can restore it. And then you can see I've returned the new file as demo, so I can work with this data. Okay, so I can delete it right now. Let's start from the new connections, of course, because once you've launched the studio, you have started the new connection. You can click new connections, and then here you can select from which server do you want to connect. Or you can create local server. I've created already recent. If you need to connect it to remote server, you can go and select those options. But I will select my existing one. You need to select the authentication method. In my case, it will be like Windows authentication, but you can also select the SQL Server, Azure Directory, and others. Also, you can select the connection name, of course, be able to see and move between different connections, and you can see the environment category like production, sandbox, test, and many others. You can customize that as you want. It will be your specific product with lots of things. But we have a quick demo today, so I will keep that. So once I've connected, it's already connected from my side, so I will skip this one. But you can see that you can go there and select your connect. And we'll delete it. Not necessary because I have all the database connected right now. And I have, for your today's demonstration, I have selected few databases. And so let's start from maybe coding assistant, because this one is the most important one. And we'll run new SQL. I just need to right click and create new SQL, or I can go from here. You can create new query or new SQL. And for example, for instance, what we can do right now, we can select, I would say, what we select here. Let's select some. Okay, it will be much easier for us. Oh, let me select something. So I will use the select. And as you see, when I'm even write some, and it shows me options, what I can select. So I will select on the formula, and I need to select everything. Let's, for example, and then I can select person address. And as you can see, the dbForge Studio shows me what I can select, what I can choose, and many other things. Then I can select this person address. Then I can go in with, for example, and the person with the family. Okay, so I will execute this. And now I have selected them and joined all together. And apart from that, we can, for example, launch the query compiler mode once we've executed it, and we can see how much resources this execution performs. And you can do many things, but we don't have a time to show you all the functionality. So what else we can do here? We can, I can briefly show you, for example, data comparison. So if you have different databases, two different developers work in different sessions. So let's compare before them push to the main production site. So you can select a script folder or database. The same for others. In my case, I'm comparing different databases, many other options. So you can take a look on them closer. And then you can basically, it's mapping things, take some time. Give it a minute, please. And then click compare. So now it starts comparing different databases. For example, one developer worked and made lots of changes in one database and another one in the second one, and you need to see the difference. So now, as you can see, we have one different, and it shows us here from the right side. We have difference in the postal code. It shows like we have address and the postal code difference, and we have 31 different changes. And as you can see, the code is different. And now we can click synchronize databases to make them identical. I will click synchronize. And we've done it. So next time, once we start comparing them, you can see that this problem will gone. So as you can see, the product works very fast. And despite the fact that we have, so after that, once we've compared them, it will be the same once we've synchronized. Then we need to click synchronize, then click here, and then it will move and start synchronizing. Also, one more thing that we can here, that's the, let's say, the source control. So you can link your database to a source control. And in this case, you can select source bit. You can pick up the folder. I've created the special folder here. And now we need to test connection. We test successfully. Click OK. And then you can move forward with this. We have used it into the previous file where we already connect. As you can see, here we have the first control. And now once I've launched, I'll start clicking and refreshing the database and checking if we have new updates there. Usually it takes some time. So before it launches, as you can see, we have local changes of 131 changed, and we need to type new update and click commit, and it will link to our existing. So we need to select all of them and new update and click commit. We are done. It is refreshing. Okay. So let me move to our Git repository and show you that it was previously empty. So let me move between different screens. Start sharing. And now you can see that the previously, once I've had it repository, it was empty. But now when I'm refreshed, it has files and all our tables that we link from the dbForge. Okay, I guess so we are running out of time. We have many more things that we can show you. So feel free to uh, stay in touch with us and let us know if you require any additional functionality that you want to see. We'll be glad to demonstrate it to you. And now I have to get back to my presentation because we still have some more things to show you. And of course, our incentive tools that we create. Okay. So going next to the dbForge Studio case studies that we prepared for you. Oh, for example, the man Urban that lectured in the University of Brewing Java. The tools, so basically what he said, your tool is complete and easy to use, and it simplifies his work with pivot tables very greatly. So in terms of like highlighted features that we get, he is using like pivot tables, import from multiple sources, database comparison, and synchronization. And of course, the challenges that face the search for and easy used to use and effective tools for the data management analysis. Previously used database tools were raised incomplete features twice because it was not comfortable. And with our tools, it became much more intuitive and useful for him. And what is the result we have here? Like we achieved like 70 and over 70% personal productivity. So moving next, like the data from Malaysia, what he said that the automated schema comparison in the live server in our environment, it helps us to identify any out of sync schemas and enable side-by-side comparison, which are using to manage and compare business logics within the stored procedures. So highlighted features that he used that the schema comparison, automated script generation, environment categories. Challenges he faced, manual synchronization, because it's very hard, but even without our tools, it's not that easy as everyone thinks. So manual work with stored procedures, triggers, custom functions, and slow identification and elimination of errors. So with dbForge tools, it can save their time, they can work more efficiently, you can find your errors like faster. And as a result, like the chance spend 50% less time on routine database deployment, and it increased like over 20% for his like productivity growth. And finally, pricing we have here. So as we mentioned, we have three type products: that dbForge Studio for SQL Server by Devart tools, and the separate tool like SQL Complete. So we highlighted SQL Complete because that's the best seller. So like almost 99% of customers think SSMS Studio, they're getting our SQL Complete Studio. As you can see, it's in terms of pricing, it's very affordable. The subscription cost starting from 129 and 149 for professional, and the perpetual license will cost you $300 for professional license. So the next we have dbForge SQL Tools Pack. That's the entire pack, every tool that Devart has for the SSMS Studio, and it comes in handy with, again, subscription and perpetual. And then the last one, of course, the studio that I demonstrated for you today, the SQL Server, that we have three different editions. That's the standard, professional, and enterprise. Enterprise, fully featured. Professional has less feature set. Standard one, it provides you with the most common feature set. But as you can see, still the price for perpetual license of Studio per SQL Server will cost you $949 per one studio for one developer. In comparing to our main competitors that sometimes pay even 2 times much more affordable price, but with the same functionality. So what's the point to pay more? Again, if you have any Studio or SQL Server right now, you can easily switch to Devart product. And if you have a confirmation, some proof that you have already existing product, send it to us, and you can get an additional discount for switching from the competitive product to Devart. So again, thank you so much for your time. It was my pleasure to introduce you Devart to the SQL Server and tools today. Stay tuned. Again, we're always open. Contact Lisa, contact our partners if you require any additional assistance. And don't forget that we can arrange a separate call, demo session, or the product presentation for your decision makers, for your colleagues, or for many other offices or like branches that you have, and you know that they're like tired from manual work, and our tools and studio will be like very productive for them, and how our product can improve their lives. So again, thank you so much. Oh, it was the Devart team with you today. My name is Yuri. We are happy that you stayed with us together. We hope it was productive for you. So let's stay in touch, and I wish you all have a great weekend ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll see you at the next one. Bye.
Let's stay in touch. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.